Good morning, Joe Kent here. Just want to talk about a few pieces of legislation that are working their way through the House and the Senate that are very much in the news right now and of key interest to me and everyone here in the 3rd District and I think across the country. So first and foremost is House Resolution number 1, H.R. 1, which is being portrayed by the Democrats and much of the mainstream media as a voter integrity measure. H.R. 1 is extremely dangerous because it federalizes our election system, strips away a lot of the power of the states to double check that voters are who they say that they are, and to make sure that voters are voting in the appropriate places within their districts and their legislative districts. So what H.R. 1 is proposing is to strip away a lot of the barriers to voter registration. It will automatically register you once you are 18 years old to vote. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a lot of eligible voters who don't even know they're eligible to vote. So voting is a civic duty and a civic privilege, but you as a free American can choose not to go vote. You can choose not to register to vote. By choosing not to register to vote, you're securing the fact that no one can go and vote for you. If we register everyone, we're opening up a huge door for people who don't take actions to go vote on their own to have someone portray themselves as that person and go vote fraudulently on their behalf. So they're taking away that one, that preventative measure from fraud. That's going to be gone. A massive amount of people are going to be registered to vote. They're also taking away the ability to have voter rosters and to purge voter rosters. So a voter roster would have everyone who's registered to vote listed on it, listed what district that they're supposed to be in, what precinct they're assigned to. So the locations that we vote in this country are very important. Other than the presidential election, which is a national election, we vote based on what state we live in, and then within that state, we vote based on what district we live in. Like here in Washington State, I'm running for the 3rd Congressional District. I vote in the 3rd, and then I vote in Washington State. So if there's no way to double check who lives in what location, we also open that door open wide for people to go to different locations with non-requested paper ballots and vote fraudulently as well. So there's multiple angles that this H.R. 1 presents to people that want to act in bad faith. And unfortunately, there are people that want to act in bad faith. H.R. 1 is also going to allow felons to vote. If they've served their time and they're out of jail, they're going to be automatically registered to vote as well. So that's going to open the market back up for people that we've already deemed did something so egregious that we had to lock them up. It's going to give them a voice back in our government after they've already committed major infractions against our society. So H.R. 1 is being sold again as a access issue, which is a complete and total scam. So right now, we just saw what happened in November of 2020, where many states switched at the last minute to mail-in voting. I know we do mail-in voting here in Washington State. We've been doing it for a little bit longer than a lot of states have, and we at least have to prove that we live in the district that we live in. Our system's still very flawed because all you need to register to vote is an address. And then you can request a ballot and you receive a ballot. That's still better than non-requested, just mass mailing out ballots to people. And even that's better than the mass mailing out of non-requested ballots after you automatically register everyone to vote. So what we're going to see in future elections under H.R. 1 is a massive amount of paper ballots getting sent out to people who don't know that they're expecting a ballot. It's going to flood the zone, and there's going to be no way to check because we're going to be eliminating the ability to scrub the rolls and to cross-check them. So H.R. 1 is a scam that's going to lead to more voter fraud and voter integrity issues. So I do not support this. The House is controlled right now by Democrats. The Senate's controlled by Democrats. Unfortunately, it looks like it's probably going to become a law. So when I get into Congress, I am going to work as hard as I can to make sure that this law is rescinded and we put in real voter election integrity measures. What I propose is a national ID, a driver's license, a passport, the same thing that you use to get on the airplane to prove that you are who you are, that actually gets you a ballot. So for the vast majority of healthy Americans that are able to go about their daily lives, go to the grocery store, participate in daily activities, that means you go to a precinct that you are assigned to where you vote. That precinct also has a roster of every eligible voter. And then we vote, and we use paper ballots to vote. Paper ballots are not tabulated by machines. They're tabulated by humans with proper observers from both political parties observing the tabulation process. I propose that we make Election Day a national holiday so everyone has the day off. They can go to their appropriate precinct and they can vote. For the small segment of our society, folks that are permanently confined, military folks that are overseas, they can vote absentee after they submit their voter ID, their real identification card, the same stuff you use to get on an airplane, the same thing that you use to buy a beer or a pack of cigarettes. So right now, if you think about it, we have more security on the purchase of alcohol and tobacco than we do on our elections. And that is absolutely insane. So I am not going to let the issue of integrity, voter integrity, just go away or die off. I don't care what the narrative is. There was massive amounts of fraud and improprieties in 2020, and we have to fully adjudicate that. If we do not, then many millions of Americans are going to become disenfranchised, and they're going to think that voting in our system is not how they can have their voices heard. You don't have to look very far in history to realize what happens when people become disenfranchised and they think their voices can't be heard. They turn to other means. They turn to violence. They turn to very, very dark practices, and that's where we don't want to go in that direction as a country. I've been in places all over the world where this is the case. People vote with bullets, not with ballots. I don't ever want to go there. I don't want to see that in this country. So I want to do everything that I can to uphold and fight for the integrity of our election process. The next bill that I want to talk about is the Equality Act. And the Equality Act, it sounds great because it's called equality, so that's the trick. What the Equality Act is mostly doing is it is normalizing the transsexual agenda. And what the transsexual agenda wants to do is redefine what a man is and what a woman is. So the biggest thing with the Equality Act is it's going to give men who say that they are women access to women's facilities and women's sports. Common sense, we all know that this is absolutely insane. You can't have a bunch of men going into the women's locker room, the women's bathroom. There's no way you can possibly justify that that's a good thing. It's also going to have men competing in women's sports. We all know the biological difference between men and women. So this is just insane that a man can go and wrestle against a woman or compete in boxing, weightlifting, whatever. These are all just, these are big issues, but they're kind of a sideshow for what the Democrats are trying to do. They're redefining language. And if you control the way someone defines very hard and fast things, like what a man is and what a woman is, and you say that you say that we have to go along with their new definitions and their new rules, like men in the women's bathroom, they gain a significant amount of control over our language and over our actions. And that's what this is all about. Everything that the Democrats are trying to do and push down our throats is about the Democrats gaining more control over our lives. Because now the Democrats have control of the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. They want control and they don't want to give it up. So this Equality Act is just another dangerous chapter in that. So they're going to go after the definitions of what a man is and what a woman is. They're going to redefine masculinity, because if you do that, if you attack masculinity and you call it toxic, you are attacking and you are able to neutralize the characteristics in our society that make people want to go out and conquer, want to organize with other men and defend and protect. And if you're able to go after everything that is a woman, what femininity is, you're going after the nurturers in our society. You're going after the very foundations of our families. You're going after the foundations of our communities, because it's traditionally women who are the cornerstone of that, who bring that together with their nurturing nature. Of course, I know there's crossover there. There's women that go out and fight. My late wife was a warrior. She went out and fought and was killed fighting for our country. If you can control those definitions, though, and you can erode those, you can destroy the family unit. If you can destroy the family unit, you can make us dependent on something else. That something else, according to the Democrats, is government. It's not religion, because they want to get rid of that too. That's a whole different topic. But they're attacking the family unit and sexual identities to gain control of our language and to gain control of our lives. Tie that back into HR 1, they're going to control the way that we vote, and they're going to be able to flood the zone with massive amounts of unsecure, unaccountable ballots. So again, I just want to emphasize everything the Democrats are trying to do right now is about gaining control of our daily lives in an effort to make us dependent on the government. So that is the lens with which I view most things that the left is trying to do. HR 1 and the Equality Act are no difference. So I need your help to fight back. I need you to go to joekentforcongress.com. I have all my stances on the various issues on that page. Please give it a read. If something doesn't sit right with you or you want to discuss further, send me an email. Let me know. There's also contact information on there. I also need your help. I need donations because I'm in a war for resources right now against the radical left and then against everyone's favorite Congresswoman, Jamie Herrera Butler, who can't show up to work 13% of the time and who certainly won't fight for us anymore against the control that the left is trying to cram down our throats. So please, if you can, make a donation. That's all I have for right now. Thank you very much. I hope everybody has a great day.